Hey, welcome to the live stream of consciousness. I am Michael Zinn, and I am seriously buzzing right now. This is amazing. I had, unfortunately, my guest tonight, Lynn LaBorde Eastman, who is amazing and is coming back. I was so excited to have her on the show. She called a little bit earlier, and she was having some trouble. She was driving to Virginia. She was supposed to be there way ahead of time and be able to set up and do the show and all that, and she was 2 hours away still. So it was no big deal. I was like, don't pull over and do the show from your car. You're gonna give yourself another hour on the road. So I basically told her we'd reschedule, and I just looked around and I said, what can I do? Who can I have on? um, I reached out to my friend Brian, who I knew wasn't going to be available, who's somebody who you guys know, Brian Lar. I'm going to be doing an amazing show with him. I cannot wait. And then I was just like, oh my God, I know exactly who I want to bring on. And I reached out to her, and she was available. And we had a little conversation. I gave her a little pep talk. She was totally into it, and it's going to be amazing. So I'll talk about that in a second, because I want to catch up like we used to do with Jesse, who is in town. He was supposed to come on the show. I haven't heard from him. I heard from him when he landed, and I'll probably see him, and I'll probably record some stuff, and maybe he'll be on the show. He said he's going to come back on the show. So for those of you who said you missed Jesse, he is coming back as a guest, and maybe a little bit of co-hosting too. So last night I was at a psychic medium event. My friend Christopher Allen, who has been a guest on the show, was doing an event. He asked me to do some video work for him, and I did. And it was an amazing show. It was very cool. And I forgot what I was going to say about it, but it was really cool. And it was just interesting, because a lot of things have been happening very intuitively to me and to tonight's guest, where we'll think a thought and then it will happen, or something related to that thought will come to be, something related to it. So there's a lot of messages that I've been getting from the universe, which is interesting, because I always say how I don't get messages and I don't see, spirit and all of these things. But there is a message. There's a message tonight. What's up, Courtney? We missed you on Strange and Wonderful. You did an amazing job last night. Let me talk about that for a second. I was busy last night with the story I just told you, and I wasn't able to do the Strange and Wonderful, which is the other broadcast that grew from the live stream of consciousness. It's like kind of like a spin-off. And I watched it when I got home, and Courtney hosted it by herself. She did an amazing job. She had a beautiful, super energetic guest. I was bummed that I missed, because Harleen Demopopulous, I think her last name is. She's a Harley Quinn cosplayer professionally, and when you see her, you'll see why. I mean, people pay her to show up at events and be Harley Quinn, and she does these elaborate costumes, and she was just so energetic and authentic, just like all the guests that we've had there. So it's very interesting. Strange and Wonderful has actually turned into a literal spin-off of the live stream of consciousness in a spiritual way. There's been all these spiritual conversations that we had. So great job, Courtney. I think you might be getting ready to fly on your own with that show, and it'll be very cool to see the Strange and Wonderful from a different perspective, to watch it grow into something. So sending you love. Anyway, I had an amazing meeting this week at work at Tied In. You can see I'm wearing the shirt backwards on the camera there. It was with Gary Brown and a guy named David Lionheart, and they work together, and they are very giving of themselves and their spirits. And there's this so much of a story about believing who you are, believing in who you are, no matter what your circumstances are. Because Gary Brown was a Green Bay Packer who won the Super Bowl. He was on the Green Bay Packers when they won the Super Bowl. And then something happened to him, and he became injured, and he wasn't able to play football, and he uses a cane to walk. But he is the brightest, most happiest star in the room. When he comes into the room and you start talking to him and you start feeling his vibe, it's amazing. And David also is a filmmaker and did a bunch of stuff with him, and they're doing stuff with kids or just having these programs. It was just an amazing meeting. I was crying. It was phenomenal. But the message in the meeting was this, because this is what they were both saying, and that is how important it is to just show up. And I was thinking about that and how it related to this show, and I'm going to use that for some conversation with our guest, because I don't want to keep her waiting too much in the green room. So our guest tonight um, is a woman who was a viewer. She was watching the show. You guys know her as Jilly B, um, and we she started messaging me, and we started talking, and she was totally local to me, and we struck up this friendship. And she is amazing. I guess she came across the show because she's on this spiritual journey, and she is eating up anything she can find that is related to something other than the mainstream, religions and things that you kind of learn growing up. She's like, what else is out there? And she's resonating with all of it. And it's been such an incredible ride. She came with me to the Great South Bay show for doing photography, and we're going to talk about that. But let me not keep her on in the back room anymore. Here she is, Jillixir. What's up, Jill?
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing, as you can see.
I'm
I'm
like,
just
you don't even have to worry about keeping me in the back room because I'm watching the show anyhow. So I'm just,
Yeah, you're always talking about how you're making popcorn and
yeah.
getting ready for the show. But
Mhm.
this week was so amazing, and the message that I got was so amazing, which was just show up. And like, what kind of magic things happen when you show up. And for me, it made a lot of sense, because I did a lot of not showing up when I was younger. I would rather sleep than go out and do stuff. I would miss a lot of stuff because I didn't show up.
Mm.
And now I show up and I see how much is happening. And it's so cool every day, and you don't even think about it. But when you do slow down and you say it, and you have this meeting like I had that was so powerful, and you see, wow, you just show up. It's like the words, when you see them in front of you, it's like, oh shit, that's a message from the universe right there. Like I wrote it down on the pad, and it's like, huh?
And you're always ready to just show up. Take it from me telling you I'm not ready to come on the show. I'm not ready. And you're like, well, just be yourself. Just be who you are. And that's all you ever need. And that's a message I've heard like 2 or 3 times this week in different contexts. So you're always ready. No matter
Right.
where you are, it's time.
That's right. And it's funny too, because we were talking in the last week or 2 weeks, we've both had like these visions, like flashes of thoughts that are, kind of related to each other, or maybe it's, related to, like, the thing that happened with my glasses. That's what I was going to talk about with Christopher Allen. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But like, just having a thought and then something manifesting that is like, wait a second, I just was thinking this. I didn't think of it this way, but this makes
Even the
sense.
show, even
Even
the
this show.
show.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what
How
I'm
I was
saying.
going to come on this show, I already knew that it was going to be a spontaneous guest cancellation thing because he had asked me prior to. And of course, I'm like, yeah, maybe someday. I'm not quite ready.
Right,
Hi,
Carrie
Carrie
Anderson,
Ann. And
Mike Porter,
somehow
very
I knew. Somehow I knew there would be a cancellation, and I would be here, and it happened just like this. So there you go again.
totally, totally. And when you told me that, I was like totally not surprised. I was like, of course you knew that I was going to ask you to be on the show.
Yeah. Well,
So,
then you weren't going to stop at this point, I would think, because it would come up again, and I'd be like, oh, I'm still not ready.
yeah, yeah,
But I've also been receiving the messages consistently, not to decline the invitations for things that are going to present themselves to me. because it will be game changers, and they are every time. So
That's you know what, it's hearing you say that, I feel like, and I don't know if you were inspired by this show to kind of I know you weren't. I know you were already this, but you're just uncovering these layers. But we talk about that all the time. You know what I mean? It's just like uh, uh, yeah, it's just you've got to live with that intention. You know what I mean? And it
mhm.
makes it so great when you intentionally are living with that intention, and then you're
Yeah, I mean,
seeing things happen, right?
and you have to live it, and it's not easy to do because you do have that ego, you do have that fear. I'm scared to death right now, but hey, here I am.
Here
You
you
know,
are.
I'm
I
ready.
want you are. And you're doing amazing. You are so
Thank
beautiful and glowing, and I can't wait to open up into some conversation. I just want to acknowledge Mike Porter, because I haven't seen him out there before, but very cool. I love your passion. I play with the Hitman Blues Band in UK, and I'm here to hear your words of praise. That is, see,
you.
that's, oh my God, I just got some chills. I don't even, maybe I do know you, Mike. Your name sounds a little familiar. He would love to come on our show. Just back from you know, Mike, we'll talk. Definitely message me. Let's talk about, what your story is. I have no doubt that if you're even asking to come on, you have a story. So there you go. And you know what's so cool, Jill, is again, this show, like we were talking about, how for me it's become my happy place. I talk about that, but all I've wanted to do is just show up. You know
Right,
what I mean? And it's like every Thursday I'm here, even if there's nothing, I don't have anything. I was just going to come on and just be
right.
like, oh, I'll just talk about stuff, and then my brain scrambled, the universe flashed, boom, and here we are. It's so amazing. It's so great. Um, so I guess let's talk about what you know what before we talk about anything.
Uh-oh. Oh, I've
I
been
have a
doing my homework, so I know what's coming.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Um, so everybody's answer is different, but it's not. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to just tell me what you think. But what is consciousness? What does consciousness mean to you?
I'm learning. Okay, this is relatively new for me. This is nothing that's been developed since early childhood or even over the past 5 years. It's probably been in the works for maybe at least 10, 12 years.
Okay.
Um, but I'm coming to the conclusion that it's a presence, like a now.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Um, when you are, I could almost define it in terms of what it's not. When you're not paying attention, when you're, involved in something, or worrying about the future, or worrying about the past, when your mind is somewhere other than right here, right now, you
Ooh,
are not in consciousness.
ooh, I like that.
So
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's a presence. It's an awareness.
yeah,
It's all from the heart.
yeah.
It's a way to be, and it extends way beyond your personal self or this planet. It's very vast consciousness,
I love it.
and
What a good answer.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
But did you think that you would ever be able to articulate that? Like
I
you
have
just
no idea what
channeled,
I just said.
you just exactly, and I knew that, and
I'll
you
have
just
to
channeled,
watch the
because
replay.
it was amazing. It was really beautiful. And here's the even cooler thing, and I noticed this, is the first two words were your answer.
Okay.
And when I asked you the question, and before you answered, you said, and it was like a disclaimer, but it was really your answer. And it was, I'm learning.
Hmm.
And that is what consciousness is, right?
Well, it is. I'm finding that I had a little flicker years and years and years ago where I was forced into a higher level of awareness just to watch my thoughts
Mhm.
and to be aware along those lines. But life
No.
got in the way, healing got in the way. That was 12 years ago. I still always had that in the back of my head.
Mhm.
So it's been kind of peeling back in layers and layers and layers over the years.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm still learning. I
Yeah. Oh
have
yeah. Yeah. You
different
never stop,
layers of levels of awareness that keep showing up.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm never going to know it all, but I'm
Right.
okay with that. I
Right.
find that very intriguing and
Yeah.
very
Well,
liberating.
I
It's
think
like,
I
oh my
think
gosh, I don't have to know everything. Really great.
exactly. I think as you go on and you become more and more aware, you're more and more okay with it. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
You're like, oh wow, this is cool. And
Oh, I
and
thought I
again,
had to be this, or I thought I had to know that, and I thought
totally right. And
no,
it's
no, 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 no.
and there's also, I mean, there's a part of me, and I say this to some people, and I can say this to my audience, um, is I'm looking forward to the next realm. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not looking forward to dying, and I don't want to kill myself to get there, but I can't wait to experience what's next. I've had a taste of it. You know what I mean? I've
A
had
next level.
experiences. What's that?
A next level.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So Mike, let's chat after the show. Mike is saying, "What do I play? I play the bass." Uh, and but more importantly, so you're saying this broadcast is exactly what we needed to hear tonight. Thank you so much, man. That's why we're here. That's why I didn't just say, "Oh, my guest canceled, guys. I'll see you guys next week." And I made it happen because somebody needed a ripple tonight, and it was you, Mike. So, cheers to you, Mike. So awesome. That was an amazing answer. So you kind of also started to answer the next question before we get into some of the things I want to talk about our
Mhm.
friendship and who you are. Is when did you? Was there a moment specifically that you can talk about where you were like, wait a second, life is not what I thought.
I would say so, and yes, very recently, within the last 3 months, I had been, through several traumatic experiences. Um, we won't get into all the details of those
Right.
things,
Right.
but
It
just
often is that.
decided, what's that?
It's often part of the equation,
Right.
to get you to a
So
certain
just
place.
just digging a little deeper for my own self, started down a path of self love,
Awesome.
and
That's
it's
where you
just
got to
kind of
start.
spiraled out from there. So anything related to self love, I dove into. I'm learning, learning, learning. Um, but get to a couple months ago, after doing all of my homework, realizing, hey, I have all these thoughts in my head, and I'm formulating these theories about, there's something more than me, and I'm getting it, and I haven't said anything to anybody because this is just all in my head.
Mhm.
Well, I have a friend who said something to me several years ago, and I know I respect him a lot. He's very intelligent, and he's just on a different plane.
Okay.
And when he said something to me several years ago, I heard him, like I heard his words,
Mhm, mhm.
but it didn't penetrate.
Okay.
So he said something to me 3 months ago, and I'm like, oh, you said that to me once before, but this time I heard him.
You felt it. You felt him.
And I was like, well, wait a second, did you just confirm what I've been learning about this stuff? And it all of a sudden it was just
What did he say?
real. and
What
and
did
I
he say?
said to myself, I'm like, holy shit, this shit's real. And
What
I'm
did he
like,
say? I'm curious. What did he say?
oh gosh, can't even remember. I can't remember right now.
Okay, but the
But
moment was, you felt the moment and you
right,
remember
right.
the
And
moment.
he's, just very loving, very kind, and um, can openly be that way with
Right.
anybody.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
more so now, specifically with me, because now we speak the language. I think it was something in the language. There's
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
there's a language that people with some level of consciousness speak,
Yeah.
and there was some commonality with his words that I had never heard anybody speak of before.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
he was confirming the way I was thinking,
Right.
and now we can communicate up
Right.
here.
Right, right, right.
So
So that's great. That's awesome. And I think, it's very similar for me too, because I think we were talking earlier about how suddenly I was becoming friendly with these people like Christopher Allen, who I was working with last night and I've worked with for years now, and Steve Interante, and these people who had these extraordinary gifts and these connections that they were very sure of, and I think that's what it is. I can see in them that they had figured out their connection with source, and it was a reflection of me, and I could see my reflection, and it started to become who I am as well. And here I am, doing the live stream of consciousness and
Right.
having
Make
these
no mistake, I have no idea what any of this means. It's
and
still so new,
but
but
it
there's
feels so
something
good.
going on.
Yeah, it
And
feels so good because it's all based in love. It's all about self love,
mhm.
like you said, is where you started, right? And
I'm sorry.
self love is where
Yeah.
you started, and and
Hmm.
and that's like super super important. Self love is the start of it. If you don't love yourself, you cannot function and
It is,
move
and
forward and express love and give and receive love. It's like you've got to love yourself first, definitely.
I have to point out too. In some of the books I've been reading, my Amazon account is out of control right now. I must have ordered, 50 books over the last several months, whatever, and I'm like tearing through them.
Right.
Anyhow, one by Karen Garvey, who was a guest on your show,
Yes, she's
she had
amazing.
a book called Start Here. And
Right.
in that book, also confirmed to me how important and how foundational self love is. And you really, really got to do the work to start there.
Right.
You can't really skip steps. And if you do, you're going to have to go back.
That's
So
the first place that you got to show up, right? That's the first place you got to show up for yourself,
definitely, because
for
it
yourself.
dictates all of your other relationships, and it really fuels a lot.
Totally,
So,
totally. Mike has given me his email address. I want him to hang on if he can, because
okay. Yeah.
there's some cool stuff coming on, and I want him to. I don't want him to be like, oh, that felt good. I'm gonna go have some coffee. I want him to stay with us.
Yeah. No.
And Janice is with us. She's I think
Oh, thanks, Janice.
she's loving your pictures of the hummingbird. She is gonna love our conversation because there's something cool coming up that I know
All
she's gonna
right.
love. So I hope she sticks with us
Yeah,
as
my little
well.
hummingbird friend, he just started showing up 3 days ago. He shows up at about 6 o'clock every
Oh
night. So
yeah.
every night I go out there and I wait for him. So the
Oh, that
first 2 days, he showed up. I did little videos and stuff, and then building the trust process because I don't want to have the camera pointing in his face and scare him away.
right, right,
Um,
right.
but last
You
night I
know it.
went out there with my camera and I got some good shots of him. So
Oh, you know it. You
he
know
let
it.
me.
That's awesome. So that's a part of what I want to talk about. Like, I find that, I mean, I think, you came across my path through watching the show, I think originally, right?
Yeah, well, shortly after talking to this friend of mine a few months ago, when I realized I had that inkling that, oh my gosh, this is real. Someone else confirmed the way I've been thinking, and I said to myself, even on the way home from that conversation with him, I said, if this is so real, where are the others? Where is everybody? Why is this the first time I'm hearing about
Wow.
this? Where
Oh,
where are they?
I just got a
And
chill.
then
Cool.
something about the live stream of consciousness came across my Facebook page, and I'm like, oh wait, what's that consciousness? What? And I went and looked, and then I started watching. So,
Yay. Oh,
and
that's awesome. That makes me feel so freaking good. That's amazing.
now
Um,
I'm doing all of my homework and watching all the old shows. I'm
I
like,
love it. I love it. It's awesome. It's awesome. So one of the things that I thought was cool was like at first I felt um oh, cool. I'm a mentor. I feel like she's like, she wants to learn from me and all of this. And then when we really got to know each other, it was like I was like, whoa, she's not that, a student. She's a teacher. She's a wise woman. You know what I
thank
mean?
you.
And we had this interesting discussion the other day because I had a flash of a vision, which really doesn't happen to me often, where I have something that I would call a vision. I would never, I have thoughts and things like that. And I guess that particular vision showed me that that's what a vision is. A vision is a thought, but it's just the way that it comes to you, the vibration, how it feels and how intense it is. And, that's what makes it a vision. And I had a vision of you as a medicine woman, like an older, I want to say Indian kind of medicine woman,
Mhm.
like the
I believe
traditional
I
old.
have Cherokee blood
I want to say that, but
somewhere.
I don't. It may have been more of an ancient thing. It may have been like Aztec almost. You know what I mean,
Mm.
or something like that. Like, I don't really know. And it was interesting. And I don't think I told you this part, but
Hmm.
um, it was interesting because it wasn't specifically like we were partners,
Hmm.
but I have very often viewed myself as like this old dude up at the top of the mountain, just like in lotus, not lotus position, and a yoga position, where people are just climbing up the mountain, and they're just like, what does it all mean? And I'm like, relax, you're here, that's what it all means. You made it. What I mean? You got to the top of the mountain, or whatever. And it was just like, I was like, it was, I think I did tell you that I never really felt any sort of connection to a past life. And it was like, it was something that, to me, the vision was definitely specifically a past life for you. It was like a
Okay.
vision of you in a past life. And you responded by saying, that's weird, because I see that in the future.
Right.
Right. Right.
Well, I think I mentioned that. Oh, that's good news. I don't have to worry about a thing. I'm safe. I'm protected because I'm going to get old.
Right.
So
Right.
quit worrying about.
You embraced it. You didn't worry about the future. You embraced the
Mhm.
future.
But
You
if
felt
it but
real.
if it was in the past, that makes sense too,
Yeah.
because then I commented that Jillixir is a play on the word elixir,
Right.
which is
Totally.
medicinal. So
I love that. Yeah.
yeah. So
Totally.
who knows? Who knows?
So one of the other cool things was, just in getting to know you and who you were, was, again, wow. And this is related to that story of who you were and who I was, because it's more of a reflection.
Mhm.
I started to see a reflection, because I saw you. We were friends on Facebook, and I was like, oh, there's Jill. She's the one who watches the show, and we talk. And I started to see who you were and what you did. And you're a photographer, and I'm a photographer. We don't shoot the same things necessarily, but we both have very distinct vibrations in our work. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That I think people can relate to, and see how we connect to our own work, and where it comes from, and recognize our work. When someone says, "Oh, I recognize your work," I'm like, "Really? When it's my shot? That's freaking awesome! That's so
That's
cool."
nice.
So you're an amazing photographer,
Thank
and
you.
I actually almost look up to you, or I don't even want to say almost, I do look up to you
Oh,
photographically,
nice.
because of the diversity that you possess. Your vision of seeing beauty goes beyond what I've been doing photographically. I see a lot of beauty in the human form, and male and female. I've shot
Right.
all of that stuff, but you see beauty everywhere. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And your shots are just, they spread the um the I'm like, I can't think of my words. They're just so diverse. So hey, Brenda's here. What's up, Brenda? Nice to see you. Welcome to the live stream of consciousness.
Yeah, and I think it's expanding even more with heightened levels of awareness, like things that you used to just walk by, and of course watching Jack on your show, realizing that the trees are alive, the plants are alive, everything is so freaking
Mm.
beautiful right now. It's like,
Oh, Jack
you know,
Stanis.
and it's all like mushing together, and
Sounds like you've been hanging out with Jack Stanis a little bit.
yeah, I've been
Yeah,
doing my homework there too, because you know what, a
yeah,
lot of your former guests, and even though you did this show with Jesse, whenever it was last year or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
there's a lot of really good stuff in there for people who are new on this journey, which is exactly where I am.
yeah.
I don't
And
have any
hearing that,
channeling capabilities or special. I
right.
didn't write any books yet.
No, but
It's all new to me.
you're just, again, you're a reflection of me. You're very powerful,
Mhm.
and people know it, and you know it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't need a definition. You know what I mean? It's like, just, what do you have to do? Just show up, right? You
Right.
just got to be you. And how awesome is that, to know that, like, holy shit, I am something that is pretty special.
Well,
Uh,
I realized that too. I have to say, when I started watching the show, it was selfishly on my part so that I could take from it, take everything I could from it and learn and learn and learn. But
uh,
then at some point, very, very early on, I realized, oh, I have something to offer too.
yeah,
Surprised me,
yeah,
that I
yeah,
could chime in on things and people would be like, oh, you're exactly right, or, good point, or something like that. So I'm like, oh, okay, I have something to offer too. So it
yeah.
is more of a give and take, which is very important, I think.
And here you are, giving back. Like, just spontaneously, like, the universe said, oh, it's time for you to do it.
Mhm.
So I just want to talk more about your photography, because
Sure.
in the big mess of losing a guest, and like rearranging this show, and making it into something even better, I started frantically grabbing some things. So I want to I want to share.
Frantically is right. I didn't even get to hardly comb my hair.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. All right. Oh, that's not right. Here we go.
Oh,
So besides photography, you also are a craftswoman. I would call you, right? You're an artist.
yeah.
You make jewelry. I
Yeah,
know
these
that because
things
I've.
right here are just hot off the press.
Oh wait, hold on. Let's how do we do that?
They
Solo
are.
here. Yeah, there you go. Hot off the press. And what are those rings? Oh,
These are
nice.
rings.
Okay.
Hmm.
I see. Okay, beautiful. I thought that they were pins, but I see now. Cool.
Yeah, I made these just this week, um, and started my jewelry bead making. I guess hobby craft skill.
Wait, this is like new for you? You don't do that? You just started
So much
playing
of
it?
this is new for me. Photography is new for
Wow.
me. Like there is so much new for me
Oh,
within the last like
that makes so much sense. It just
three
makes
or
so
four
much sense.
years.
You are freaking you are channeling
The
the shit
learning
out
curve.
of
I
life
told you,
right
is
now.
like
Yeah, man.
vertical.
Holy shit. So, all right, that's amazing. So, here's some more wonderful
Hmm.
work. So, this is beads and stones, or is it all a
Yeah,
mix?
well, the center bead there is
Oh,
actually a sand bead that's shaped like a Pandora bead,
hmm.
and that's sand from our local beaches. From I believe that's Democrat Point.
Okay. So, what when you say that's sand, what do you mean by that? Like
It's
is there?
sand that I picked up from the beach and
Okay.
mixed with resin and molded into that.
Ah, I see. So you made these beads with sand and resin. I got you. Okay.
Yes.
I wasn't sure of the process, but wait, now
Yeah.
I
Once
totally
again,
understand.
if you've heard of dune jewelry, they do that too with
Uh,
sand from all over different parts of the world,
that's
and
awesome.
it's quite
Beautiful.
expensive. So I figured, let me figure it out myself.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We have a listener, Helen Wagner, who makes a lot of resin stuff. Like she
Mm.
makes hearts and like really, she's like you. She's like totally playing with things, sun catchers and amazing stuff. She's like you also. She's like, I want to be on your show, but I'm not ready. And
She's ready.
she's ready. I know she's ready. I tell her all the time. But anyway, so Brenda Andrews says that's very nice.
Thank
And
you.
he
Hi,
says,
Lily.
"Cool."
I didn't get to say hi because I'm not. I'm not texting
You're
right
not in
now.
the chat. Brenda loves the sparkle. I have so much more to show. Let's move on. Oh, look at these. These are so
Oh
cool.
yeah, those are fun too. Those are new as well from something I wanted to make for a long time, um, and just kind of
Hold
took
on.
the plunge this week. So
How
see
the
if I
hell
can
do
get them up
I?
here.
Okay. Yeah, slowly. Oh wow. And what are
They're
those?
big.
Yeah. And what are those used for? They're just hanging
They're
near a
just
mirror.
pendants.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, I see.
something you wear as a necklace.
Cool.
Hmm.
Awesome. Ultimate hippiness. Awesome. All right, so let's see. How do I do this? Okay, there we go. Now we're back here. All right, I haven't
Yeah.
really.
So piece by piece, there's no mass production here.
Right,
Um, everything is
right. So this is a ring,
different.
I'm imagining, right?
That's a chakra ring.
All right, all the seven
I'm actually
chakras.
wearing one. I think I haven't taken it off in quite some time, but that's a different one.
Can I do this? Hold on. No, I can't. I thought I could just switch and make the other one small for a second, but I can't.
That's
Uh,
okay.
cool. Yeah, beautiful stuff. And that's just copper wire.
Yes.
Beautiful, awesome. All right, so here's moving on to another subject matter. Uh,
Yeah.
I see you do a lot of this windsurfing and outdoor activities and sports. So, but what is I've seen it, but I don't think we've talked about it. I know you were
Yeah.
excited to
I
be
don't think we
there.
talked about
So
it
what's your
either.
connection with the windsurfing? Do you have a son or do you have a friend who does it or something?
I do it.
You do it. Oh, wow. I see. We're learning something new. I had no
Yeah.
idea.
I've
Not
actually
while
been
you're taking these
windsurfing.
pictures, though.
What's that? Oh no. I'm in there too
Oh,
as the
really?
sailor, but now I'm photographing my friends due to injury. So I'm kind of dry docked right now with the
Oh,
back
wow.
injury, which
I
kind of
gotcha.
launched me into the deeper levels of this journey.
Right.
With all the downtime that I had, I did a lot of research and reading and such. Anyhow,
Wow.
I've been windsurfing since, oh my gosh, 90, 93.
Wow.
So like 25 years ish
That's
about.
amazing. Wow. I had no idea. See,
Yeah,
I'm learning a lot of things. I don't have
yeah.
to
I
wake up for
I
a week.
am Long Island's top female windsurfer.
No.
Yeah.
Jill, are you kidding me? That's
Mhm.
amazing. Oh my
Nope, I've
God.
been doing it for years, and
You're so amazing. Like so you're so silly to say anything less than how amazing you are. So this one is cool because here we have a very familiar bridge in the
yeah,
background for people
these are
on
all my friends who I'm shooting recently. I don't even know if that's is that Dolores's, and I'm not quite sure who that is.
Okay.
Um,
I
but yeah,
definitely
when it's windy, I'm aware of the wind. I watch it. I've been stalking it for years, and
right.
all these people that I'm shooting right now are friends of mine. And a
Wow.
lot of the videos that I share from uh, the men in Bonaire, those are my friends. When I go down there, I go down to the Caribbean once a year.
Wow. So are you really the number one surfer, female windsurfer on Long Island?
What's that?
Are you really the number one female
Oh
windsurfer?
yeah,
I'm friends with the
yeah.
number one
There's
female.
nobody,
That is, see,
nobody's done it.
I feel like I have more value now because I'm friends with you and you're the number
I
one.
think I have a picture on the fridge. I'll go grab it real quick. Hold on.
That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna go to the next picture. So yeah, here's another one. Amazing, beautiful photography here on Long Island. If you are local on Long Island, Janice, I don't know if you're still with us, but hang in there because there's something coming that you're gonna love. That's amazing, Jilly.
There's me.
That's you.
Yeah. Let's see.
Wow, what a cool picture. But wait, so you signed the picture, but did you take the picture? You couldn't have taken the
No, I
picture.
didn't take this one. A friend took this one.
So you're just watermarking it. So or
There are some of me in there. I'll have to
right.
invite you to the Long Island Windsurf group, and then
Okay.
you'll get to scroll through. You'll see there's in
Wow.
there
Oh my
somewhere.
goodness. So tell me what the heck kind of creature is this? This was interesting to look at.
This is a cardinal who is molting.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, mid to late summer they lose a lot of their
I thought it
head
was like some
feathers.
sort of weird turkey bird. I was like, it looks like a
I don't know
turkey.
what it was. I felt bad for him. I thought he was diseased or something, but I posted
Well,
on some of the bird groups and they confirmed for me that it's normal for them and this is just what happens this
it's
time of
so
year.
and it's but it's so beautiful, like in that weird
Yeah, he was
what's
in
the
my
word I'm
backyard.
looking for?
He's
And
around with my hummingbird.
you can totally tell that it's a cardinal too when you say that. Hold on, let me zoom in on it. Yeah, look at that. Wow,
Aw,
that is so great.
I love this spiky hairdo.
It's so cute. It's just there's so much like feeling in this picture. It's amazing. Brenda Andrews, I still love cardinals, and you know what? Cardinals are a big symbol for many people. Uh,
Hmm.
So this, speaking of symbols for people, this is something else that you do, which I find fascinating. And this is something that I think Janice, if she's still with us, I don't think so. She goes to bed early. She is totally connected with dragonflies. And
Ah,
dragonflies are her. It's either her dad or her grandfather. I think it's her dad.
hmm.
I forget. She's going to be mad at me if she's out there, but I do know when she sees a dragonfly, her energy changes. She
Hmm.
you can tell that she's connected. It's really amazing. So tell me what we're looking at here. You are
Yeah,
doing something with fabrics, right?
yes. This is a collage quilt. I don't know if you grabbed any other pictures too, but
Yeah, yeah. There's a couple of other ones.
yeah,
This one's
this
a
is
little
actually,
closer.
yeah, you can see all the little pieces that bring the image together.
Right.
This is a project that I took on with another group called Collage Quilter on Facebook.
Wow.
And it was a once a week, I think they released a block that comes together. You would put 12 blocks together and then you'll get the quilt at the end of it. I'm still working on, I think, the 11th and 12th block. I'm a little behind.
Wow. So cool.
Um, but I'll definitely get back to you when the project is finished and show you the whole thing.
Awesome. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
so
But
beautiful.
again, I started quilting and windsurfing at about the same time, so I'm about 25 years deep into quilting as well.
Oh wow.
I'm
And it's all good. You're wise. So I just I kind of have seen these on your page, and I saw that you got excited when you got some print from Hawaii, some printed
Yeah,
materials
and
from
this is
Hawaii.
fabrics directly from the Big Island of Hawaii. My friend Maria
Right,
made her a quilt probably 10 years ago. I made two of them, one for her and one for me.
right.
And she was over in Hawaii, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And she called me from there and she's like, Jill, I'm in the store. There's all this fabric. Do you want some? I'm like, yes.
Hell yeah. Wow.
Uh,
So you know what? When I saw this, I was like, oh, those are cool, and I didn't really grab the whole thing, the whole concept, but now I totally get it, and it's again, it's so beautiful, Jill. It's awesome.
yeah,
Great,
thank you.
great,
This is
great
just a
job.
particular style called collage quilting. There's many different
Yeah, but
things that
it's
you
so
can do with
cool.
it.
Yeah, it's totally like folky, and like it's got that. Like I said, I said you're a craftswoman. You know, you're very crafty. So this is another bead piece.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
another pendant that's about the size of a silver dollar.
I was looking for it. I couldn't find it. You had done a piece that was. Well, I don't want to go there yet. You had done a piece that was inspired by an image that was from a telescope, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do
This
you
one,
have that? Oh yeah, let's see it. You have it. Let's
I,
see it.
I have it right.
Oop! I didn't mean to remove you. I meant to make you bigger. There you
This
go.
one inspired by the galaxy.
Yes, look at that. That's awesome. And it was just amazing the way you put the two shots next to each other because the colors and the
Oh yeah.
feel of it was
I
just
tried
so.
to pull the colors out. It's actually very quite dark. It's like black. I think this is the black hole.
Oh, that's what whenever it was. I know it was
I
a
think it was a
celestial.
black hole picture of a black hole, and then yeah, I
Yeah,
went to
yeah,
town on this.
something inspired, and it was just so cool to see it represented that way, and like see how it came out. So okay, cool. So then I think I don't know if it goes 100% in order, but there's a couple of these that come up,
Yeah,
and
those are Matas clouds. I love photographing the sky and the clouds and the sunset and storm chasing.
yeah, yeah.
We haven't had very many storms to chase, but I do chase after the lightning bolts as well and try to photograph them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, I definitely feel like a lot of people connect to seeing visions in the clouds,
Mhm.
and that's why I think these photos are so great because for me, I see this is a face looking down,
Mhm.
and this is a hand here, and I just see whatever it is, a figure looking down. But I'm sure other people get so many things out of this, you know.
Right.
That's why these pictures are so great. But and this is from your Facebook page.
Yeah.
And what was this, a time like where you kind of
Yeah,
like
and I was
thinking?
at, I think I think it was actually on the 4th of July, just looking to capture, some fireworks shots. So this was a long exposure,
Yeah,
and I had really, I saw this happening, but I had no idea the image was going to come out like this. But how cool is that?
it's
I,
beautiful.
I saw the little streaks of light going across, and I saw everything blowing up over to the right.
Oh
And I'm like,
wow,
oh, that looks cool. Let me focus on that. But with the,
you had a
4 or 5
moment. Yeah.
second exposure, it came out like this and it looks even cooler.
Even better, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You captured it. That's great.
Yeah.
Leela says, "Ooh, I love that." I don't know if she was talking about this one or the last one with the clouds because I think that came up a couple of seconds ago. But Brenda says, "Very cool." She just said that, so that's probably
Mhm.
about this one here.
Thank you.
Awesome. And then we got some more windsurfing stuff, which is
Yep, that's
very
my friend
cool.
Ken.
Awesome. And some more jewelry, and this one
Yeah.
also looks like a very organic caterpillar. Almost looks like a
Yeah.
caterpillar.
When you end up pulling the string there, it just kind of zips it up and they pull
Right,
close
right,
together.
right. That's
I
cool.
could probably be a surgeon with this level of work, with the needle
That's
and
awesome.
the thread. If anyone needs stitches, give me a call.
That's so awesome.
Right?
And this one, oh man, this was so cool. So you have a what do you have? An underwater camera
Yeah,
or?
this is a GoPro. Just
Oh
started
yeah,
playing
good.
with that a couple of years ago.
Man, oh man. See, and how simple is that? I love photography like this because
Mhm.
it almost looks like a painting, like an abstract painting. It's like,
Yeah, this is my windsurf beach in Bonaire where I
oh
go,
wow,
and
oh beautiful.
yeah, I'm just like I just melt into this place there. It's my very happy place.
I cannot tell you that I used to travel a lot, and I've been to a lot of Caribbean tropical places. I've been to Aruba a few times, Hawaii, and when you just sit back in a body of water like that, man, you are just so connected to
Hmm.
Mother Earth and like the
I need
universe.
nothing else.
Yeah, it's just such an amazing, and you know what, and I haven't done that in many years,
Mm,
and I probably wasn't as kind of aware when I did do that stuff, but I was aware of that for sure.
yeah.
That
Well,
was that
this
was
particular spot, I think I posted a few videos from some of the guys doing some big maneuvers. Over the last couple of days, they were shooting another movie down there.
Oh
Um,
wow,
yeah.
awesome! A windsurfing movie,
Yep.
awesome, very cool. Oh, here's some more
Oh
quilt
yeah,
work.
those are the
So,
rest of the collage pieces.
yeah. So let me see if I could get that any bigger. No, I can zoom in on it. Yep, there we go. So yeah, so
Yeah, I don't
these
know
are
how much you
all
can zoom, but those are constructed using many pieces, little
wow,
tiny pieces
such
to
a
get
cool
together.
art form. Yeah, that's like a
Yeah.
very unique art form. And you've been doing this for 20 years, you said over 20 years.
Not this particular type. This is actually one of the first types of this type of quilt for me, but quilting in general, yeah, for over 20
Right,
years.
right. Wow. So nice. Very nice. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Awesome. And here's another beadwork.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's the back of the other one that you showed.
Oh, okay. So now you've got me a little curious. You do this all, you take a needle and thread these
Yep.
beads so meticulously. Wow.
Well, one little bead at a time.
That's a
I have
lot.
to tell you
I thought
something
I
interesting.
what was that?
I said I have to tell you something interesting about these little tiny beads too.
Tell me.
They're itty bitty.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me
This might relate to consciousness. I'm not sure. Don't make me big.
ah. Okay.
Anyhow, laying at the beach about a month ago, wearing a bracelet with tiny little beads, even smaller than those. The sun was shining on the beads. And I looked at the bead and I'm like, oh, there's like little rainbows shooting off of there. How cool is that? And it's on this bracelet that I'm wearing. So, there's like, I don't know, 50 little rainbows I'm seeing in these little water droplets or whatever. Um, but then I looked at it a little bit more closely and just kind of relaxed my eyes on it for a few minutes. And I'm like, oh, wait, what is that? And in the bead, there is this mandala on this itty bead, bitty bead. I can
Wow.
see a mandala shape
The
on there.
light from the light pattern.
From the light pattern, I don't know if it was representative of the water that was on
Wow.
there or if it
Okay.
was the structure of the bead.
Okay.
Um, but subsequently, I shouldn't be able to see that because with my contacts in, seeing anything up close is pretty much impossible to me. I have to put glasses on top of my contacts to read something up close.
Okay.
So the fact that I was able to see something so small with so much clarity
Wow.
is kind of mind blowing, and I still don't understand what that.
And I got to tell you, that's again another weird thing we share. My eyesight is so bad, and my glasses are progressive, so I got to kind of look like that at the screen if I want to read, and that if I want to see. So,
But now subsequently, if I get water droplets on my glasses, like I wear them when I go in the swimming pool. If I'm not doing like full on laps, just kind of like side stroke or something, I'll keep my glasses on. But
right.
in the water droplets on the face of my glasses, I can see little mandalas.
Wow. That's
So I
all.
don't
So
know what's going on with that.
not clairvoyant. I guess, is that clairvoyant? I don't know. There's something
I don't know.
you're seeing something.
I don't
Awesome.
know if is it a third eye thing? I haven't
It's definitely one of the just
like there's no
heightened sense.
physical reason why I should be able to see that.
It's a heightened sense, totally
Yeah.
heightened sense. So more resin, and so this is all handmade resin beads, or no? Some of these are
No, there's some sand beads in there.
okay.
Larimar, some of the tubular beads I did make those.
Right. What is this bead right here? This
That's just a wooden bead.
okay.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. And I think I have one more photo. Oh yeah, I have this, which reminds me, I lost this. I have not been able to find this, so I'm gonna need to buy one from you because I loved this thing. I was wearing it for 2 weeks straight. I took it on vacation and I must have left it in the hotel.
Oh no.
Because yeah, and we called and of course they hadn't seen it. And I thought I had a picture of this. Actually, maybe I do. Like completed also. but I don't see that here. I don't know why. Huh. Weird.
Here, I have it. I think I have one in the works here too.
All right, so let's see what you got. Hold on, let me pull that out, and there you go. So that's what that looks
Got
like.
the strings hanging off, but
It's so cool. It's like, I mean, when I was a kid, I had one of those bicycle chain, bracelets, and that's what it really
Mhm.
reminds me of. It makes me feel like that. It brings me back to being a kid, and like, because I don't wear any jewelry, and when I got that, I was like, oh, I actually like wearing it because it had some.
I think they do even have another version called bicycle chain. They called this one something different. But
I like it. And you have another one of those, right?
what's that?
You have another one of those, right?
Well, that's just
No.
this one.
Oh, just that. Well, you're gonna have to make another one.
I know.
uh, but yeah, that's just so cool. And again, what's so cool is just how I didn't even know you just started doing that stuff, and you just decided you wanted to learn it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're by
It's
yourself.
therapy. It's very
Yeah.
therapeutic to be creative, and I enjoy it for myself. And a lot of people want me to sell it, but there's a little bit of your heart and soul in this, and it's not anything that can really be mass produced. So it's difficult. The each piece takes
Yeah.
hours, and
Yeah.
you know,
Your own creative energy and juice, and there's a bit of
yeah.
love.
But
You
somebody had mentioned to me too, that that's a way that I bring joy to other people when I do end up sharing it with them. So
big time. Oh, absolutely. I
I
was
hadn't thought about it that way. I'm like, I'm doing it for me, and I just love it.
and
So
that's what life and understanding love and being connected. It's just like all of a sudden you're like, oh man, look at what I did, and I wasn't even trying. You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
Totally, totally. That's it.
Yeah, that's the other thing
That's
I'm learning too.
showing up.
It's like you always hear that you have no idea how you impact other people, and you really don't know,
Yep,
the impact
totally,
that you do have on people. So, as
totally.
long as you show up, just like the name of the show, and be yourself, and
Yeah,
chances are pretty good you make an impact somewhere, even without
abs-
trying. So,
absolutely. Amen. That is just so wise. And again, I feel like you are so wise, and
thank you.
and I want and I it's like I want to say you're so wise and you don't know it, but you do know it. You just like kind of like you're shy about it.
Yeah, but I
uh,
don't know. That's the other thing too. I mean, sometimes when I do just let loose and just be, it gets a little overwhelming
right,
because it's very magnetic and people come at you from all angles, and I can't always process the celebratory nature of it. I retreat.
right, right.
So I have to learn how to handle that energy and celebrate it a little bit more.
Totally, totally. Well, I think I don't think I know that the whole concept of energy is absolutely starting to make sense to so many people. So many people. There was so much energy going on the last couple of years, and people felt so much energy, and probably so much hate and anger towards other people, and there was all this division and stuff happening, and people are like, wait a second, I don't talk to my brother for 2 years now because of this stupid freaking argument we had over some guy with the orange hair, or
Right, but
whatever
that's
whatever
so
that
strange
argument.
too, with
What's
with
that?
everybody who's coming online with consciousness and the realization that we are not separate. The division politically, the division geographically, the division, whatever division you think you can come up with, just
Right,
get rid of it
right.
because it's not who we are.
And
you
right,
know?
and totally interestingly, again, just like kind of certainly you say, oh, I'm on this spiritual journey, and I've said how I don't love these little buzzwords, but like you kind of categorize these periods of time in your life, and now you're doing this. But for me, like, I've always had these thoughts that were like, for instance, like, man, as a planet we're so divided, and we've got to be humanity instead of countries, and instead of races, like we've got to be humanity. Like the only thing that would make that happen would be some sort of alien mothership showing up, You know what I mean? And I was like waiting for that as a kid. I was like, one day the mothership's going to show up and we'll all see that we have to unite as humanity. And
Right.
it didn't kind of
I
happen
think
that way. Go
that
ahead.
that would be the easy button, and I think we would all love that.
The
But
easy button.
yeah, that's the
No,
easy button.
but
But
what do
I
we
think
get? Go ahead.
more accurately, what has to happen is it has to come from each one of us, and that's how it's going to change. And going back to the self love, and everybody's got to do their homework and do it again and do it again and do it again. And it would be nice if the mothership would show up and then we get out of it and, hey, I don't have to do this either. But it doesn't work that way. It's
It's only
work.
a one race, the human race. You know what? And man, see again, you're so wise. It's like you're putting me in my place. I'm like, this is, we gotta unite, and that would do it.
No
But you're
easy
right.
button.
You're right. That wouldn't do it for. It would do it for a minute. You know what I mean? And then some people would be like, screw the humans. I'm going to side with the aliens.
Yeah, we got out of it.
So um, yeah, I agree. We do have to do work. And can you believe that you've been doing this for an hour already?
No,
you we just had
hardly.
did we just have an amazing episode, Jill?
I think so. I
You
don't
just
know what
you
everyone
just
else thinks. I thought it was great.
and how amazing is it that you're like watching the live stream of consciousness, learning stuff and all psyched about it, and then all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh shit, I'm in this episode coming up.
I know I'll get to that one and be like, oh yeah,
That's so amazing. I love
it
it.
is. It
I'm
really is.
so happy that you came on the show. And I usually ask for like words of wisdom, but you actually just gave some amazing words of wisdom about self-love and how it all has
Yeah,
to
and
come
just
from.
you have to do the work, and even if you think you have some kind of awakening or heightened awareness, or if it's an isolated incident, just know that there's thousands more of those, and we're all going to get there at some point or not. But you have to do the work, you know,
Yes, Leela says
and
amazing
it
show.
starts with self love. So
Absolutely. It's and sometimes it gets frustrating as you get aware because you're like, how could you not see how simple it is? You know what I mean? You're like
yeah,
wondering people
but
are
I
out
think
there, but
confuse it with the ego too, and it's not ego. It's a different kind of thing. It's a lot more genuine. If ego gets involved, it's all wrong. Just scrap that.
totally be genuine. Totally. Brenda says thank you. Brenda, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Brenda.
You are making this what it is. Whatever vibrations are happening right now happen from all of the people who show up here, all of the people who are watching the replay. And I almost forgot to do this, but I also want to just and I'm curious to know, have you watched any of Matt's broadcasts yet? I know I
I
probably
have
have.
not. No,
Okay.
I've been
You've
too
got to check
busy
out
with the other one.
you've got to check out My Dog TV. He's my sponsor. He's my beautiful sponsor, and
Right.
he's such an amazing guy. His show is just as intriguing as this one. If you find this intriguing, you'll definitely find him intriguing. He creates space for some really amazing people, and he loves to learn stuff. He likes to give people a hard time sometimes. He's a little cynical sometimes, and I always rib him on that. He's having a podathon this weekend. I think he's broadcasting like for 24 hours. I think Tommy Chong is going to be on. I'm going to be on early in the morning on Saturday.
Oh, that's
He's
fun.
doing it on Saturday. So
So
if
it's
you
this
guys,
Saturday.
this Saturday he's doing it. Yep. And just minddogtv.com is where you can find out where it is. It's also on his YouTube channel. But again, if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, he's right up your alley. Matt Napo, he likes to be called the dog. He's Mind Dog, and he's just amazing. And he's a musician, so something he doesn't say very often is all of the music on the show is his original music. So he's got a cool intro and a cool outro that is just like, that was one of the things that I loved about his show and inspired me was his outro. And then I realized it was him. He does some stuff with like vocals, like where he's pitch shifting, so it sounds like females, like a whole female backup singers are singing like the chorus, and like I didn't even know it was him singing because
Wow.
it doesn't sound like him at all. It's like, all studio magic, but he's amazing with that. So he's my studio. Brenda Andrews says thank you both.
Nice.
uh
Thank you, Brenda.
yeah. Oh no, I already said thank you to Brenda, but thank you again. Next week I have Carla Gito. Do you know Carla?
Mm-mm.
Carla Gito teaches something called the Violet Flame, which is a specific kind of meditation and channeling a specific vibration that is healing. Sunshine, if you do know Sunshine, she also practices the Violet Flame. So she's on next week. I got some really cool guests coming up. So
Well, that's all interesting too, because they all have these things about them. They know their meditation, and I'm still trying to figure out, the best way for me, kind of thing. So along those lines, I don't have those types of things to offer, but
right,
they're just showing up as myself. Apparently, there is something. So to everybody else out there, if not uh, channel inclined or meditation inclined or a tarot reader or any of that, you have something.
right,
You
and what
just
do you got
don't
to
know what
do?
it is yet.
And what do you got to do if you have something?
Just show up.
Just show up.
I'm,
I love it.
I'm
Awesome.
gonna have. I'll make a little necklace thing that says
Oh
"Just show
my
up." You're
God. Oh my God. You're
welcome.
amazing. You're amazing. You know what? We got to start talking about making some jewelry together. We'll,
Yes,
you
we
know,
will.
conceptualize and we'll make some money and we'll just love what we're doing
Yeah,
and
maybe that's why I'm seeing the little mandalas.
people will
Right.
feel, yeah, there you go.
Who
There you go.
knows?
Wow. Oh, I didn't even know that. Awesome. Awesome. So anyway, amen. Brenda Andrews still there watching this long and painful outro, but it's all good. I will see you guys next week. Stick around, Jill, so we can talk after this, and
Sure. Thanks, guys.
peace.